Hi, Ada. It's great to have you here on the Pet Biz Project. Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming on.
Hey, Tarryn, lovely to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, fantastic. So, look, when we're speaking to pet brands on the Pet Biz Project, I love to kick off by just letting our listeners know a little bit about you and your business partner, Tracy, as well, and sort of how PetWell came about. I suppose what that journey was that brought you to create the brand in the first place. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Two words, border collie. So, um, almost 8 years ago now, I got a gorgeous little border collie named Archie.
Oh.
And border collies are very anxious
Hmm.
anyway, as a normal dog breed. But Archie was especially anxious.
Hmm.
So when he was about 7 or 8 months old, I engaged a behaviouralist who's also a vet to
Okay.
just to check Archie out because I couldn't leave him alone anywhere. His separation anxiety was off the charts,
Oh.
and he was always jumpy and nervous. And
Hmm.
yeah, so long story short, he has got genetic anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was diagnosed with that. The vet slash behaviourist put him on a anti anxiety drug,
Hmm.
which he was on for about 4 years. And took him to the vet because I had to get his teeth done. He had to have his bloods tested, and his liver was compromised.
Okay.
So we worked out that long-term synthetic drugs caused his liver to not
Mm.
operate as the way it should operate. So through my own personal health journey, I know the power of food. It can heal you or it can poison you.
Yeah.
It can go either way. So I reached out to an animal naturopath to work on Archie's diet and to get him the nutrients he needed to, one, get his health back in order, but also help him with his anxiety.
Yeah.
She helped me do that. And having a chat with Tracy, my business partner, who also has issues around food in her own personal life,
Yeah.
we thought, geez, wouldn't it be great to be able to create a supplement, that all natural supplement from real food source that can actually help?
Yeah.
So we did. We went down that journey and we created Calm with
Mm.
the help of our naturopath.
Yeah.
And then from there, PetWell was born.
Fantastic. And you've studied nutrition as well as canine
Oh,
psychology yourself, haven't you?
yeah. I'm actually still in the process of studying the nutrition, so
Wow.
that's still
I
an
was
ongoing thing.
certainly the canine psychology side of things as well must be just so fascinating.
Absolutely, I know. Just getting an insight in how these guys think is
Yeah.
remarkable.
That must have helped you a lot with Archie then as well with the anxiety.
Absolutely, it did, because training is a big part of managing anxiety, and this is what
Yeah.
people don't realise. They opt for the drugs straight away,
Yeah.
but there's a massive training component
Yeah.
to it. And as most people who've got dogs know, that a dog that has structure and actually understands what he needs to do
Yeah.
is a better behaved dog, and
Yeah.
and they feel safe and they feel secure. So yeah, training's a massive aspect.
Yeah. Fantastic. And so how do you and Tracy know each other? Like, how did you come about to be business partners?
Tracy and I'm going to show our age here. Tracy and I have known each other for 25 years. We used to
Wow.
work together in a past life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in a couple of different businesses, actually, our paths have
Great.
crossed and we've worked together and we've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got very different strengths
Yeah.
in what we do. I have a strong background in sales and marketing,
Mm.
and Tracy has a very strong background in logistics and production.
Yeah.
So we have shared values. So our shared values around the power of
Mm.
food and what it can do, um, it just made sense.
Fantastic. And yeah, the more I speak to other pet brands, and it's the same for me and in my business, Erin, my business partner, and I, we're very like opposites in terms of our skill set. She's very creative, whereas I'm very strategic and systems driven. And I'm more and more coming across, businesses these days where, rather than there just being one business owner, it's a collective of two or three where there's a complementary skill sets, that come together. And I think it's so tough running business these days, like it's such a challenge that it helps to have those different skill sets, I think.
Hats off to anyone who's doing it alone, man. I don't know
Oh,
how
no,
you do it.
I know. It's
It's
exhausting.
really hard. Even like Tracy and I have got a lot of our bases covered with our skill sets, but there is still so much that we don't know, that we do call on different
Yeah.
coaches and different experts
Yeah.
from different areas. So it's doing it on your own is really, really
I
challenging.
don't think you can do it on your own. Like, to really grow and be successful, you can't think that you know it all. Even for us, we're part of a community of, global marketing agencies. And it's just so important to have, that community that you can go to and, express your challenges and to bounce off ideas and get feedback. I think it's so important if you really want to have that long-term success.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And how do you think, like sharing that story of Archie and the study that you've done, and then also developing the products, and for Tracy also having those sort of, food challenges herself, how do you think sharing that story and that journey to building PetWell, how do you think that's helped to build trust with your audience? Do you guys think that that's really made a difference sharing that rather than just, keeping it behind closed doors?
Absolutely. Being transparent is key to any business.
Yeah.
I think people appreciate the transparency. They appreciate your why, because I think when you start a business, you have to have a pretty strong why and understand the purpose that you're going into it with.
Yeah.
And when you share that purpose with people, they relate. Whether they've gone through that journey themselves or not is irrelevant at the end of the day, because everyone knows somebody who's gone through a health challenge.
Yeah.
And pet owners especially, they all know the challenges of having a pet. Our pets are with us for such a short time.
Yeah.
And the biggest fear that pet owners have is that day that's going to come when you have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
So understanding why we're doing it, understanding the benefits of our own experience in terms of the power of food, and being able to share that with people with evidence-based facts, it makes them trust the brand a little bit better. It makes them understand that there is a purpose behind it.
Yeah. Well, you're helping them to feel empowered, aren't you? Rather than feeling like, they have to just take any bit of advice they do from their vet. They are also feeling empowered that when, in between those times when you need your vet, you're also able to be able to take action yourself and really prevent things as well as heal, but prevent, issues from occurring in the future.
I love that word, empowered.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my favorite words. It's so important to understand that you have got choices, that there are things that you can do. And that is what Tracy and I set out to do. We want to arm them with all the information, provide them that value beyond just the product. It's not just about selling the product.
Yeah.
The amount of people I've had come to me and say, my dog's got anxiety, and the first thing I say to them, have you trained your dog?
Yeah. And
right?
I think, and that's one of the things, the differences I see with speaking to so many pet brands is the ones that really are successful. And when I say successful, I mean they're able to have that longevity, they're able to reach those goals that they want to reach in life. The ones that I speak to that are able to do that are the ones that have a vision and a mission greater than just selling products. They're actually got a reason for doing their business and getting things out there and educating over and above selling the products. I think that's such an important point that you've, touched on, because I see so many businesses not doing that, and they're the ones that are typically struggling. So I think it's great that you have that, because it means that you've always got a purpose in what you're putting out there to your audience on social media or website and things like that. Greater than just pumping products, pumping promotions all the time.
Exactly. And it keeps you on track.
Yeah.
It keeps you
accountable and that, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the impact that you and Tracy want to have? Like, you talked about having that greater vision and purpose over and above just selling products. Like, have you guys sort of articulated exactly what it is that the impact you want to have on the world long term. What's the legacy sort of thing you want to leave with PetWell?
Well, we kind of already touched on it with the empower part. So, so our mission is to actually educate pet parents and give them the power to make decisions for their pets. It is no different to us going to a doctor with a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So we've got a problem, we go to the doctor, we don't just take the medicine blindly and walk away and do nothing else.
Yeah.
We're informed. We ask questions. What can I do? Do I improve my exercise? Do I improve my diet? Do I move somewhere that is going to be environmentally beneficial to me?
Yeah.
It's no different with our dogs. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So if we can provide that value that goes beyond our product, we've hit our mission.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I suppose that feeds into then you developing new products and solutions and that going forward and, you know, thinking about what else you can do to help. Do you guys sort of have a process that you do within your business to come up with new product development, or does it just come from sort of like inspiration as and when it happens?
Bit of both. So we're always on the lookout for something new and what we can do. But we also take a lot of feedback in terms of what people are telling us.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting if I can share this. We have 4 main products in our supplement range. One that deals with anxiety, one that deals with joint issues, and one that deals with digestion. The 4th one, Thrive, is like a multivitamin. It's an immune support. And it's fantastic. It's a great product that's full of micronutrients that actually fills the gap no matter how you feed your dog. That's our slowest moving product.
Really?
Because it doesn't. Yeah, because
it's not a specific problem solution sort of pathway. Yeah.
Yes, even though we've got a mantra of prevention's better than cure, we're still finding a lot of pet parents are actually looking for cures.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we've thought, okay, great. It's full of anti-inflammatories. It's got some really great ingredients in there, which would help with supporting the gut, supporting the immune system, which prevents allergies and can help with allergies. But yeah, it's just been really difficult getting that prevention's better than cure out to the people. So we're developing a new product that's very similar to Thrive.
Okay.
But that focuses on allergy and skin and coat.
Yeah.
Because
so it's targeting that problem solution. Yeah.
Targeting that problem. So obviously a few of the ingredients have changed with more specific ingredients around allergies. But it just goes to show that you really need to listen to your community.
Yeah.
And even though you might think it's a great idea, you can't believe your own bullshit.
Yeah. I know, it's so true, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you talk about the process of developing new products, it's not about us, it's about what people
what
out
they're
there
looking for. Yeah.
And it's about doing your research and really understanding whether there's a place for it in the market.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's like us as human beings as well. We typically take the most action in our lives once actually, you know, that sort of red lights come on, that something's really, you know, bang out of order. It's usually that's when we're the most active in taking action. So it's, I suppose it's the same with our dogs. But you also combine your solutions with treats, don't you?
Yeah,
which is, I think, a fantastic idea.
Yeah, again, that idea was born out of feedback. So there are a lot of fussy dogs and cats out there that don't like powder being mixed into their food.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got some feedback in terms of, there's got to be an easy way that I can give this to my cat and my dog. And we sat back and thought about it, and we thought, you know, this is what we can do. We've got the formula of the supplement. We know it works and we know it's great. We've matched it with equivalent proteins, and it's all freeze-dried, so it doesn't go through any heating process. So we've made sure that the efficacy is there and it holds. So, we're really proud of that range, and it's doing really well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I don't have that challenge of feeding things to my dog because I've got a Labrador. She'll woof anything down, but I understand it's a big challenge for many, which I suppose brings me on to another question that I have is, did you and Tracy always set out to create solutions for dogs and cats, or did it start with dogs because of Archie and then you transitioned to sort of including cats in that afterwards? How did that happen?
No, we hit the ground running with cats in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as we decided on PetWell that we wanted to create this product, cats were always part of that process as well. So the
Fantastic.
animal naturopath that we worked with also does a lot of work with felines. So she was very much across that whole process too.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Because a lot of brands I see will start out, focused on dogs and then look to how can we service cats as well. But it's great that you guys did that right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And could you share with me sort of like some of the memorable points for you and Tracy along the journey of from when you first launched the business to now? What have been some of those key points that have either been big wins that you've celebrated or also, as we all know, some of those challenging times that you guys have overcome?
Well, obviously, completing the range of supplements was a real standout. So we remember sitting at our kitchen bench going, wow, that's pretty cool what we've created. So that was a real moment that we celebrated. I think the most challenging part was getting the first retailer to believe in us.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to be first?
Yeah.
So we had our sights set on Habitat from the start. And the reason for that is because we had a real appreciation for their approach on customer service and their commitment to raw feeding and natural feeding, which they do really well. So we approached Susie Demery, who was the buyer at the time at Habitat, and she was amazing. Like, she took a look at our ingredients and invited us in straight away and really supported us through the process. So she not only gave us our first opportunity to range in all Habitat stores, but she was great. She gave us a lot of feedback in terms of what the customers were looking for, in terms of what we need to do and how we need to position ourselves, because we were new to the industry. We're from advertising and print management, marketing management. So that was definitely, having our products in Habitat stores was definitely a milestone for us.
And did you go in there with your full range straight off, or was it just a select number of products that you started with?
It was just the supplements to begin with, because that's all we.
Yeah.
The treats came later.
And did you find then once you're in Habitat, it became easier to get others on board?
Yeah. I did not only others on board, but other customers, like customers coming online and taking interest in the product too.
Yeah.
When you're in a retailer that people trust,
it's like that stamp of approval, isn't it? That's just sort of out there in the general public. Yeah.
Yeah, that trust transfers into your product. So that makes a big difference. And that happened again when we ranged with Chemist Warehouse online.
Yeah.
We're only online with them on their marketplace. But so when we ranged with Chemist Warehouse, it took it to another level again, because it was that level of trust that comes with that.
Yeah. Fantastic. And then you guys have also had a walk for pet wellness, didn't you, do that you created to raise money? When did that happen?
Yes, that kicked off in 2022. So that was an idea that Tracy and I kicked around for a bit, and it came out of the whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
Because people were returning back to work. They were surrendering their dogs. Shelters were inundated.
Yeah.
Watching the news and hearing all of this come back, and I rang Tracy the next morning and I said, mate, we need to do something here, because we're both in Docklands. We both live in Docklands.
Okay, I didn't realise that.
And I'm not sure if you know, but Docklands is a massive dog community.
Yes.
Like, huge.
Yeah.
It's almost like every second person has got a dog here. So we thought, you know what, we want to start this within our community. We're going to do a walk, raise some money, and give all the registration money to a charity of choice.
Yeah.
So we did that in 2022, and we also put a focus on health on it. So it was a walk for pet wellness. So even though we're all amazing pet parents and we give out the best of everything, but there are so many pets out there that miss out. So just raising that awareness on animal nutrition and helping them live a happier, longer life.
Yeah.
yeah, the first year was 2022, and we raised $7,000 for
Great.
SADS at the time.
Yep.
And then we did it again in 2023, and that one was led by Peter Hitchner.
Yeah.
And we raised money for Second Chance Animal Rescue.
Mm.
We didn't do it in 2024 because life happened and
As it does.
other challenges came through.
Yeah.
But we're back on track to do it next year, so we're looking forward to doing that again. Yeah, it's going to be an annual thing.
Oh, that sounds great. I might have to come up for it. That'd be a fun day.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And so, I mean, have there been any other sort of significant challenges or wins that stand out in your mind?
No, every day's a win, I reckon, that we're in business.
Yeah.
So
every day's a challenge as well, isn't it?
I was going to say that. There's always challenges.
Yeah. They never go away, do they? Once you realise that, I think you can relax.
And Tracy and I we always come from the mindset of there's always more to learn.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't know everything.
Mm.
And I think one of the biggest challenges is, who do you talk to?
Yeah.
Who do you get advice? Because everyone's got advice, especially on the online digital space, right?
Yeah. Everyone's got an opinion.
Everyone's got a theory, and it works for some, it doesn't work for others. And we've engaged with a couple of people through our journey, and some things have worked and some things haven't worked. So I think that, and you pay a lot of money.
Yes.
For this advice. So I think that's the biggest challenge is understanding who to talk to and when to talk to them. And that's a challenge we're still facing.
Yeah.
We're very good in engaging coaches and mentors. But it's different when you're talking in terms of expanding your business in the digital realm.
Yeah. It's identifying the gap and then finding the best person to help you overcome that gap sort of thing, isn't it? And it's, we find referrals is, where we tend to go to is ask around and find where you get multiple people saying you've got to, speak to this person or this person's great sort of thing. But it is difficult, isn't it? Finding the right people to support you on the journey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And I'd say that it's probably been our biggest challenge.
But it's also the most important challenge, isn't it? Surrounding yourself with the right people, growing your business. So I think if you've got, from my perspective, I find when I surround myself with people that have the right mindset, that see challenges as something that's actually helping us to grow and pushing us to, step into more of who we're here to be. It's, I think when you surround yourself with those kinds of people, then it makes it a lot easier to achieve and overcome those challenges because you're going into it with a good mindset anyway. So, but yeah, business isn't easy. I have to say it's one of the most exhausting things I've done, but the most rewarding things as well. So
I'd have to agree. It's not for the faint-hearted.
No. Well, I suppose that's why there's such a small percentage of people that do, go past the 5-year point of owning a business.
And that is the hardest part, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's those early years, I think. Yeah. Getting to that sort of growth. And I suppose one of the other challenges we see a lot, especially with the smaller brands that reach out to us for support, is that, the rising costs of running a business these days, and we're feeling it as well, the operational costs, the cost of team, and like you said, the cost of coaches and mentors and things like and getting advice. It seems to be increasing at a much more rapid rate than I ever saw it increase in the past, unless I'm just being a bit blind to it. But, how do you guys go? Do you have ways that you've sort of found to operate more efficiently within your business with rising costs or, challenges in terms of, that reducing your expenses and things like that? Do you have any advice for others out there or any just insights?
I wish I had some advice because I'd be taking it myself. But look, I think Tracy and I are in a really unique position because we have got such a strong skill set that covers us from sales to marketing to logistics to operational factors. So from that point of view, we do a lot of the grunt work ourselves. So we do save a lot and we work a lot smarter because of that.
Yeah.
One thing we will never do is compromise the quality of our products. It will always be natural and it will always be human grade. But there is no harm in speaking with your suppliers and asking them for some assistance.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that the more you buy, you leverage on volume and economies of scale and so forth. And, we're growing, but we're not growing at the rate that inflation is growing. So we're not getting that, that saving.
Yeah.
So we had some really honest and open conversations with our suppliers, and they have been amazing.
Yeah. I've heard that, from many brands that, just having those conversations and not avoiding it is one of the biggest things to do.
Yeah, so they've been very helpful. So it's been fantastic. And
great.
And I have to say that the retailers that we work with are fantastic as well, and they don't keep us hanging for payments and things like that. So that helps with cash flow. And again, it's about having honest conversations with them as well. And I have no problem telling our retailers that we are a small business and that payments a week later or a week earlier make a massive difference to our cash flow.
Yeah.
And that works.
Yeah. That's great that you're able to have those conversations, because I think it is important. And they're quite often doing it tough as well. That's what people don't realise, is it's not just you, it's every business out there. As much as they might say they're okay, everybody has challenges with, running their business.
And they understand. That's exactly right. They completely understand where you're at. So like attracts like. When you talk to people that are going through what you're going through, they're more willing to help. They're more willing to assist each other. We've got a fantastic network of other businesses that we join forces in terms of doing our marketing together as well.
Okay, great.
Businesses like the Saltiest Dog and Dog Yog and Chadwick Nutrition, and we're constantly leveraging off each other and helping each other.
Fantastic. Creating a bit of a community. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't look at each other as competitors in any shape or form.
Yeah.
It's a matter of helping each other and getting there together.
Yeah, I love that attitude. We're big on partnerships, especially these days. We find it the greatest way to help businesses to grow is get them collaborating together, because you're not competition. You can, everybody's different, and you can get out there and help support each other to grow and create a community within the pet industry. I think that is evolving. It's taking longer than I'd like it to. I definitely see people, business owners in the pet industry, starting to have a bit of a different attitude, like yourself, around, seeing that, coming together and collaborating, you can be so much stronger than being on your own. And that's how smaller businesses can, grow and survive.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you and Tracy have any specific advice for new businesses starting out? So somebody just starting a Shopify store with their own, creating their own pet products, just getting going. Is there anything that you would say to them just starting out that you wish you'd known when you were sort of starting out on the journey with PetWell?
Deep dive into research.
Yeah. Do that R&D aspect. Yeah.
Deep dive. I mean, we did it. We did our research. I think we could have done more. Like the example I gave you with the preventative over problem solving.
Yeah.
Was an example of that. But yeah, look, I think researching, understanding your customer, understanding the problem that you're solving, getting all of that down pat first before doing anything is the most important, because that will actually lead you to the direction you need to go in.
Yeah.
And we touched on this earlier as well, but your why, understanding why you're doing it, what your purpose is, and how does that get your heart racing?
Yeah. No, it's so important. I was speaking to Diana Scott from Frontier Pets, and she was saying that she spent 2 full years on research and development before she even started to look at marketing or, launching the business and things like that. And you just think 2 years seems like such a long time, but it's not really. Like when you look at how much is involved with really developing an amazing product. How much time did you guys spend? Do you remember?
Nowhere near enough.
No.
I reckon it would have been, I think it would have been about 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months
which is
our research.
yeah.
But what did happen with us, we evolved as we went. So we were able, because if I can say this, we're very good with our behavioural flexibility.
Yeah.
So, being in business, like working in other businesses for so long, we've understood the power of pivoting when we have to pivot.
Yeah.
So that behavioural flexibility has definitely helped us. So we've evolved over the last October will be 3 years. Next month will be 3 years.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. So we've evolved a lot in that 3 years and changed direction based on the information that we've been getting back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an important point. I think you have to be flexible going forward. Like, the world is evolving so rapidly, when we look at technology and AI and how things are evolving with how we operate in business. It's changing weekly, that I think business owners going forward need to be prepared to change, because the needs and wants of our customer base is always going to be changing as well. So you have to be prepared to be flexible.
Always.
Never stops,
Always.
unfortunately.
And with that comes some amazing opportunity too. So I think that's how you need to look at it. I used to have a mentor that would always say to me, you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting.
Yeah, that is a very good saying. I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. It keeps life interesting anyway, when we've got to keep evolving and we've got to keep, pivoting and changing the way we look at things. It's what keeps us growing and learning new things.
And patience, I think, is a huge one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be patient. Nothing happens overnight. And you look at some of these businesses that pop up on social media that look like overnight successes.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled.
That's not. Doesn't happen.
It's not. It's good marketing. That's all it is. It's it takes a long time. It takes a long time.
It does.
Patience is definitely key.
Yeah. Fantastic. So at the Pet Biz Project, we have sort of our motto is building relationships, meaningful relationships with pet parents. So I wanted to ask you, I suppose, from a personal perspective and part of your growth with PetWell, with Tracy, what does it mean for you guys to be building meaningful relationships with pet parents?
Engagement. I think for us, it's about engagement. It's about building a community rather than a customer base.
Yeah. Okay.
And understanding and engaging with that community.
Yeah.
Listening to what they're going through, or what their pets are going through. Excuse me. And it's about really focusing on what they need and what they want. We don't use any automated messaging on any of our social media or website or emails. We don't use bots. At this stage, we refuse to. I'm never going to say never, because we might get to a point where we have to. I don't know. I'd rather have a team of people on the other end of it than a bot, because I really think that's what real engagement is about. It's about really actively listening. Yeah,
that support that you give to your community.
Yeah, providing support with purpose, not just rattling it off.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And is there any sort of, when it comes to the nitty-gritty marketing tools within your business, like email and social media and your website, is there any, thing apart from the customer support aspect of things? Like, how have you guys found like Shopify and Klaviyo and things like that? Do you find that they are good, effective tools that you're able to manage yourselves, or, have you found them really difficult, challenging software to overcome with the business development?
The actual use of of Shopify and Klaviyo, easy.
Yeah.
And you can make changes yourself. You don't have to
rely on people.
Yeah. So when we only moved to Shopify and Klaviyo in March.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
prior to that, we were using WordPress and another thing.
I have nightmares about WordPress, but what?
Yes. Yes. I know.
Oh, since we focused on just working with Shopify, it's just been a breeze compared to WordPress.
Yeah, so one of the coaches that we sought out in regards to help us make this a better platform.
Yeah.
We listened to his advice, and we're glad we listened to his advice. So yeah, we find Shopify and Klaviyo really easy. We can do our own things. There's always something that pops
Yeah.
up that you go, I don't know, but certainly a lot easier than trying to build stuff yourself.
Yeah. Well, they're so
Without-
user-friendly, those systems these days. They are built for people to run their own businesses, to launch themselves and things like that, which makes it a lot more accessible. Even if you get assistance with developing something in the early stages, to be able to just do that general upkeep and management of it going forward, it is so simple, I think, compared to some of the others out there.
It is, without a doubt.
So you mentioned earlier about the new product that you guys are going to be launching. So what's next for you and Tracy and PetWell? Is there anything else on the horizon, or is that all the focus is going into the launch of the new product at the moment?
At the moment, we're focused on that.
Mm.
We want to get that right. And there's a bit of testing involved in doing all of that sort of thing. So we are 100% focused on that. But, we have got so many opportunities at PetWell to grow it. And we are looking. We are looking to find the right partner to work with to help us grow. Whether that's another pet business, or whether that's a human business, or whether that's investment company. I don't know what that looks like yet.
Yep.
But we are definitely researching it. We're doing the pros and cons. We're understanding who it is out there and the type of person that we want to align with, or the type of company we want to align with. Obviously, value matching is really, really important. So I think that's going to be the next big thing that we're going to be focusing on, because
fantastic.
I'm being completely transparent here. Tracy and I can only go so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So talking about collaborations and stuff earlier, we are looking for that partner to take us to the next level.
That's exciting. Yeah. And aside from the values, it's finding that business or partner in terms of, who has the same vision and mission that you have, or who wants to have the same impact in the world and, achieve that same sort of legacy. I think when you can find somebody that you can align with like that, like we said, you're much stronger together than you are on your own. So that's exciting. I can't wait to see how that evolves and how it plays out. And somebody might listen to the podcast and reach out to you that that is aligned. Very exciting.
We are going to apply what we were talking about before. Research.
Yeah. No, I think, well, like you say, you learn as you go along and you realise that, okay, we need to dedicate more time to those things going forward. So that's just part of the learning process. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, it's been so lovely having you on the podcast today. I've loved chatting. If anybody wants to reach out like a potential partner and get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to reach you, Ayda?
Just pop us an email on inquiries at petwell.com.au and I'll get back to you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I really loved chatting with you, and thank you for being so honest and transparent about your journey with PetWell. And please give our love to Tracy as well. It's been great to see what you guys are doing, and can't wait to see the new product launch come out as well.
Wonderful. I'll definitely keep you in the loop.
Thanks, Ayda. We'll speak soon.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.